Hello everyone. Good evening from Pakistan and good morning or good afternoon to all who are in different time zones. Thank you for joining me for this webinar series brought to you by Kaizen Analytics LLP. This is seventh in a row and this is our seventh webinar, and the topic which we are covering today is dynamic inventory analysis in Power BI. So my name is Mohammed Kashif, and I am the founder and managing partner of Kaizen Analytics LLP. Just a couple of things before we get started with the actual content of the webinar. We have already emailed the database file to all participants who have registered with us. For those who didn't register with us, just simply shoot us an email and we would love to share the participant material, which is the database file, the presentation, and the PBX file or the Power BI file. We have left the email at the description and also at the screen of the webinar for your convenience. You must have many questions, so do leave your questions in the chat, and my team will try to answer them on the spot, or just simply email us and we would love to respond to you shortly. Now, as I have explained earlier, I am the founder and managing partner of Kaizen Analytics LLP. I have almost 17 years experience. I'm a cost and management accountant of Pakistan, and I've worked literally all departments which are relevant to finance, from process, business development, modeling, capacity building, supply chain, audit, finance, corporate finance, public finance, data analytics, data visualization. So literally work with all the departments. So you can connect with me, you can email me, all the addresses are given over here. So today we are working on inventory. So we have bifurcated our webinar in three parts. The first section is let's discuss about the inventory management universe. The second section is about the demo dataset, and we will work on a demo dataset of inventory analysis, and we will work on the Power BI. And the third section is the way forward. So section 1, the inventory management universe. As if you have seen our previous webinars, we have touched the concept of supply chain and procurement, and I think it is kind of in line with our series of webinars that we are touching the relevant topics which are relevant to supply chain and procurement as well, and finance and others as well. So inventory is also one of the important factor of supply chain. And what do you mean by inventory? Well, it's the right inventory at the right level, in the right place, at the right time, and at the right cost. So this is kind of a crux of the inventory management, because I'm assuming that my audience is kind of very familiar. They are not a student, but they are working professionals, so they are very well aware of the concept of supply chain, procurement, and inventory. So I'm just touching the core concepts of what is the inventory management. I'm not going deep down into the topic and discussing on the each and every flow of inventory. Just a key concept: right material at right level, right place, right time, and right cost. This is the inventory management. As far as the inventory analysis is concerned, well, it's important to understand the concept. The concept plays around few of the things. The first thing is the product mix. The second thing is the demand of that product, and the third thing is optimizing the level of inventory. So we will be touching some of the key performance indicators which are considered in inventory analysis. For instance, inventory turnover, stock reorder status, inventory valuation, warehouse position with respect to value and quantity, ABC analysis, XYZ analysis. These are kind of a very cool analysis, so we'll do it together in this webinar. Vendor analysis with respect to volume and quantity, and forecasting with respect to revenue and quantity. So these are kind of a core concepts and KPIs which we'll be working in this webinar. And now let's jump to the demo dataset. And I think first let's review what are the main pillars of the Power BI and at what level this webinar is as far as those pillars are concerned. So the key pillars are data transformation, modeling, DAX function, and data visualization. So as far as data transformation is concerned, we won't be needing any data transformation as far as this webinar is concerned. Data modeling, it is at beginning level. DAX function, it is just above the intermediate level. It is not an advanced, but it is in the middle of intermediate and advanced. So if you are not familiar with Power BI environment, then you will find it kind of difficult to start with, because I will jump on some of the intermediate concepts right away. I won't be discussing the beginning level DAX functions. So the DAX function are at the intermediate level. As far as data visualization is concerned, yes, will be working not on at the intermediate level, but at a much higher level. So we have also emailed the link of how you can download and from where you can download the Power BI desktop version. So we'll be working on Power BI desktop version for this webinar. And let's jump to the database. This is database which we have emailed to all the participants, and we will be distributing this database once we receive the request. So no issue at all. You just shoot us an email and we will share all the database to you along with the Power BI file. We have 4 tables. The first table is sales table, and this is sale order. And next important thing is order date, SKU ID. So stock keeping unit ID is there, warehouse ID, type of customer, order, sales, unit sale price, and the revenue. So this is the sales table, and this is important, this SKU ID, which is important. And this is kind of an inventory control table which is updated on regular basis. So it will be linked with the sales data using this SKU ID over here. And this sales data and inventory control both are data table, they are fact tables. And if you have seen my previous webinars, so I've explained what are the data tables, what are the dimension or lookup tables, and why we are doing those things. So if you are not familiar with the concept of this one, I think go check out my previous webinars. I think it was second or third webinar which I have discussed this concept of the core concept of dimension table and fact tables. So this is warehouse ID. Now this is current inventory quantity. This is the cost of SKU, this is total value, and this is whether it is in kg or numbers. This is average lead time, this is maximum lead time, and this is the unit price. SKU, so it has only the ID and the name, not all the other descriptions, weight and other things. And this is the warehouse, so we have warehouse code, and this data belongs to Canada. So this is our simple database which we will be using to create some amazing dashboard which I can display over here. So we will be creating this dashboard with that inventory, where we will have if we can review over here, we have the revenue forecast. So this is the forecast. It's exponential smoothing forecast which we can do in Power BI in line graph. So this is for revenue in amount, and this is for quantity. So we'll be doing forecasting. We'll be doing ABC analysis over here. And what is it? ABC and XYZ analysis, we'll discuss this, we'll touch this concept a little more once we go over there. So these are the main some KPIs, SKU number, and this is the value, this is inventory turnover, this is inventory value, and this is the reorder, stock reorder, how many quantities needed to be reordered. This is the inventory warehouse position as far as value is concerned, inventory value, and inventory unit is concerned. And there are vendor analysis, so top vendor as far as value is concerned and as far as units are concerned. So these are the two things, and you can just dynamically change the position of all the things by using, if you can see what are the B classification, so how they are working, what is the A classification which they are working, and what is the C classification which they are working. So the and what are the cost of, or what are the number of stock which are to be reorder in this one. So you can analyze it with ABC analysis, XYZ analysis, and even with the SKU units. So you can individually see which unit is placing where, it falls under which category, and what is there are one unit values and other things as well. So we will be creating this dynamic dashboard using the database which we have discussed earlier. So let's start with the data first. Okay, so let me open the blank Power BI file. So let's open the blank Power BI file, and let's get data in Power BI. So we have our data in Power BI. This is our data in Power BI. So let's open this data in Power BI. So we will have for this inventory control, sales, SKU units, and warehouse. So these are the 4 tables which we are importing: inventory control, sales, SKU unit, and warehouse. And we will transform and load this data. Okay, so now if you can see, Power Query editor is open. So this is kind of a kitchen or washing machine of Power BI. So you tend to transform the data in over here. So let's see what and I think all the units are just same. Let's delete this one, these things. So let's just delete these few things, just rename this one. Okay, and let's go over here with this one as well, and let's delete this one. Okay, now good. This is an inventory control, and this one is it is in decimal numbers, and the data type is correct. Yeah, the data type is correct. In sales, order date is in date. This is the date symbol. The data type is correct. So as far as revenue is concerned, let's make this one decimal number as well. Okay, this one is also decimal number, and decimal number. Good. And now SKU unit, good to go. And here, yeah, good to go. So now let's close and apply, and let's move forward. Okay, so we have our data over here. Over here we have our data in Power BI right now, and it's time to just do the modeling. We will go in this model tab, and as I have explained earlier, we have 2 tables, and let's see if the modeling is correct or not. I think it is better not to made both of them. Yeah, so now this is warehouse code is connected with this warehouse code over here. So let's see. And next is this SKU ID is connected with this SKU ID, and over here this SKU ID is to be connected with this SKU ID, and over here this warehouse code is connected with this warehouse code. Now that's good. So that we are good to go with this one, and let's move forward with this one. So let's start our first, and we will first calculation. So it is kind of considered as best practice to enter all the formulas in one table. So let's enter all the formulas in one table and enter data. Let's name it as key calculations. Key calculations. So this is our first key calculations, and let's start with the warehouse status. So let's start with the first formula of warehouse status. Right click and new my year. So let's review first the data model. If you can see, this one is connected with this one through many to one relationship, and it is not active. You won't be making this one active, so it is not making this active. So we will activate this warehouse code, this one, in our DAX function and make them active using use relationship, and we'll do it over here. So let's do first inventory value is equal to, we'll use the function of calculate, and we want to sum the total value. We are just adding the values of the total, all the values which are in inventory control table, and we want to, because we want to extract that one from the inventory control, and we want to link it with the warehouse as well. So in this way we are now creating we are making the inactive relationship active using use relationship. So we'll use the function of use relationship and give the first code as warehouse code, which is in inventory control warehouse ID, and we'll match it with the warehouse code in the warehouse table. So this calculate function is doing two things. It is adding this one. So let's review this one. So it is first adding this one, just adding the column, and second it is making the inactive relationship active for this DAX function. So these two columns, this one and these two columns, are now active for this calculation. So if we can click over here and let's review this one. let's delete this thing. This column is not necessary, and I'm not sure why it is, but we have to just hide and unhide to make it the table of calculation. So now it is recognized it is not a table, it is a calculation table. And let's place this over here, so it is getting a value. Let's place a donut chart, and let's go for this one and place. Now you can see that this calculation is working with the warehouse. This warehouse, we have placed the slicer from here, from this warehouse code, and it is working because although this relationship is inactive, but we have made it in active one using this function, use relationship. So we have started our work, and our first work is done. So this is inventory value, and we'll do this. Let's do another one with as far as the quantity is concerned. So first we have, as far as our working is concerned, let's review this one. Okay, so first we have just added this total in inventory, this one. Now we want to add another one over here, and we want to add this total as well. So current inventory value, now we will be simply adding this total, but we'll making the relationship active as well. So we'll use the same formula, I think. Control V, let's name it as inventory units, and let's change this one, only this one, to current inventory quantity. So now we have the inventory units as well. And let's copy this one, Control C and Control V. We have the second one over here, and let's delete this one with the units. So we have now we have two visuals, this one for the value and this one for the units. We are done as far as warehouse analysis is concerned, and we can move forward with the vendor analysis. So let's do the vendor analysis first, and so we want to find top 5 vendors as far as value is concerned, and we'll use the function of top n embedded in calculate. So we'll use the calculate function, and we want what do we want? We want the inventory value, not the unit but the value, which we have calculated recently. And now we want this top n function to be activated, and we want top 5, and we will place an all filter first, because we want to go in the column of vendor name in inventory control table. So let's name is vendor name. Yeah, we want to search in all vendor names, that is why we have placed this all. But there's a problem in using this all. So because this all will cancel all the previous filters like top n, so we will bring back those filters as well. And let's see if this formula, because this won't be working in a correct manner, but let's see if I can explain something over here. So let's place it like this one, and let's place the vendor name as well from here. So we have our vendor name. Yeah, so now if you can see, this formula is not wrong, but it is incorrect as far as this visualization is concerned. If you want to place this formula in a card over here, it will show a correct value. This is the cumulative value of top 5 vendors. But if you can see over here, it is showing the same value against each vendor. It is not evaluating the top 5 because this all we will have to use this one, but this all has one problem as well. It removed this context of top n. So we want to bring back this context, and to do this we will use the function of values. You will see this is the same formula, but this value will not change, but this visualization will change. And let's place the function of values. So once we have placed the function of values, so we will bring back the context of vendor name. And now let's close this one and let's make this one better as far as the visualization is concerned. Okay. Just missed one thing, which is we will have to place the inventory value over here as well, and then we will place this values. Yes. So now it has only calculated the 5 top values. So this part is important to show the top 5 in this visualization. Otherwise, for card, this formula is enough. This formula is enough. So this is our top 5 vendors. As far as the other factor is concerned, this is top 5 vendors as far as value is concerned. We'll also be calculating top 5 vendors as far as unit is concerned. So we'll do the same formula will be used, just we will change one thing. In this values we will use the units, and we will change this values to units. Yeah, over here we are changing it with units, and we are changing this with units as well. So now it is top 5 vendors as far as units are concerned. So let's delete this one. Let's Control C, Control V, and over here, and we will be adding the units. These are the units. So this is the units and these are the values. So we are kind of this part of visualization is kind of a complete, and we can move to the next part by the calculation of ABC analysis. So let's, and for ABC analysis we will have to do calculate some of the calculated columns. So let's go over here in this inventory controller over here, and we want, as far as ABC analysis is concerned, what is ABC analysis? Let's first define what is ABC analysis. ABC analysis is in an inventory. It is a technique for inventory control, and it is based on Pareto law. The crux of this one is significant few and insignificant many. So there is an 80-20 rule. So there are few significant items and there are insignificant many items. And in ABC classification, we tend to classify items, all our inventory, into A, B, and C. And the characteristics is quite similar. As far as the quantity is concerned, percentage of quantity, A category item fall in around 10% of the item, but as far as value is concerned, they are around 70% of the value. B category item fall under 20% off as far as both percentage of quantity and percentage of value is concerned. But the difference maker are these two, A and C. A and C is opposite to A. So in C category items, the quantity is huge, but the value is very low as far as the significance is concerned. So to reach this one, first we will have to calculate the annual sales quantity with respect to the current context. So we are recording this webinar on 17 December 2020. So we'll use those functions over here, and first we'll calculate this annual sales quantity, annual revenue share, cumulative share, and then we'll be doing some other calculations. So let's start this one, and let's start with the inventory control register. So let's add a new column over here after unit price, this one, and let's name it as annual sales quantity is equal to, we'll use the function of calculate, and let's calculate the sum of order quantity. In sales table there is an order quantity, so we want to sum that up, and we want to filter it. So it is annual sale quantity, so we want to place a filter, and we want to place it a filter it with sales table. And let's also filter it in two contexts. The first is the SKU unit of sales table and inventory control. Sales table is another table. This is a sales table. We are bringing the quantities, the annual quantities from this table. So we want this SKU ID to be matched with this one. So this SKU ID has the same quantities, annual sales quantities, as the SKU IDs over in the sales table. So that's why we are placing the filter. So let's place this SKU ID. So SKU ID in the sales table should match with the SKU ID in the inventory table. So this is the first condition. And the second condition, so we are placing double %. Second condition is that we want to go back 1 year in our analysis for this webinar. So in the sales order, the sales order date is less than or equal to today minus 365. So it will go back 365 days, and we will close this one. Yeah. So this webinar is recording on 17th December as a 17th December 2020. So if you are watching it, definitely after, and if you are watching it after 1 year, so all the information will be changed. So because we are using the dynamic function of today, because and we'll be using the forecasting function as well. So those, if you see those visualizations in the webinar, and if you see in the context of after year, those will be changed. So over here we are just bringing the sales quantities from here, we are matching the SKU units, and we are just calculating the annual sales which are calculated on today. So today minus 365 and annual quantities. So we have just placed two filters over here. The first one is SKU ID should match this one, and the second is we want to calculate the quantities of 1 year only as far as today is concerned. So okay, so now it is this SKU unit, as far as today is concerned, it has the annual sales quantity of this. So these are some of the items, and there are some blanks. So let's place, we as we will be averaging other things as well, so let's place 1 0 as well, plus 0. So this is the whole formula. We have placed 1 0 over here right now. This is the whole formula, and now this zeros, there zeros will be added. Now here, if it is blank, zeros will be added. Yeah, zeros have added. So we have done first thing, and we'll move to the next one with annual revenue. So let's place another, let's calculate another column, annual revenue. Annual revenue is equal to, it is same, the annual sales quantity, which is calculated right now, multiplied by unit price. Simple. So now it is just multiplying this annual sales with this unit price. Simple. These two columns are multiplied in this formula. And the third one is, because we want to place the Pareto principle, so we want to analyze whether this amount, this one for this SKU, how much this is as a percentage of total sales. So we'll be doing another calculation in a calculated column, which is the annual revenue share. Revenue share percentage is equal to, and let's calculate this share, 100 multiplied by the annual revenue in amounts divided by sum of the same column, this column, annual sale. So 100 multiplied by annual sales divided by this one. So this will give us a share. Yeah, so this is giving us a share. It is 0.4%, it is 2%, 1%. So this is the share. So now we want to add the cumulative share in order to do the classification, ABC classification, which we have discussed earlier. And for this cumulative share, let's first make it in a descending order over here. So the top, we have made this in a descending order because we want the items with more share in revenue to be classified as A and at the top. So we will be classifying this one first. So that is why we have made this in descending order. So let's add a column, cumulative column, relative okay, let's make this one in descending order. I think, yeah, let's make this one in descending order, and let's do the calculation again. Okay, cumulative share is equal to, and we will place this in a calculate form, and let's sum the annual share percentage. We want to sum this, and we will place some filters over here. So the first filter is we will give the inventory control. We will placing the filter with this inventory control table, and we want the annual share in percentage, this one. So this percentage, this one, has to be greater than or equal to the earlier. And we will do this calculation and we will close all the things. So what this formula will do, what this formula will do, over here it will write 7.26, but over here it will write it will calculate both these things, 7 and 5, and write a cumulative total. Then it will add this column, this total, to this one and write the total over here. So that is why we are using that. If we are in this one, it should add all these things over here. So that is why we are using the formula of earlier. So it has done the calculation, right? And at the end, if you can see, it ends at 100. It ends at 100. So now we can do all work has been done as far as our ABC classification is considered. So let's do the ABC classification now. Let's add a column for ABC classification. So let's ABC analysis, and ABC analysis, or ABC, let's name it as ABC. So we'll place the condition of if the cumulative share is greater than or equal to 70, then classify it as A, or high value, HV, which is the high value. And if we are pressing another if this cumulative share is greater than or equal to 90, then it is B. So why 90? Because the first share, if you can see over here, it will go down up till 70. So it will classify these items at A and other, because if you can see over here, these are the high value items. We have placed it in a descending order. So the cumulative share of 70% of the items are those which are high value items, but they are few in numbers, because our items, as we have searched earlier, it is around 320 or 330. So our around 20 to 30 items are those items which are high value items. So this is 70. So that is why we are using this 70. So it will classify these items up till 70, and other items, these items below 70, these are low value items. The percentage share is low. You can see over here, it is 0.72, this is 7.2. So the percentage is low. We will be classifying it as low value, medium value, MV. And let's close this one. Otherwise, the third is C, which is LV, low value, and bracket close. Simple. So it will classify these items based over here up till 70. Up till 70 it will classify at A, then B, then C. Okay, so let's see if we have not closed this yet. I think we have to close this thing, and let me just close this as well. Okay, now it could go there where we haven't closed this one. So it is high value, A is high value, B, and there are a lot of B, and CV, yeah, CV is low value, B is MV, which is medium value. So we have classified ABC, and we can review this, whether this works in a way which we have done right now. Let's review it over here. So let's place a this line and cluster column chart over here, and so I will place this one in this one ABC. Let's make it as ABC over here, and let's place this line and cluster column chart over here. So this is our chart, and let's place this ABC in over here in the shared axis, and let's place this annual revenue in this column value over here. And if you can see our quantities, where we have our quantities, yeah, SKU ID. So let's place this SKU ID in this line chart. Okay, great. And let's turn on these labels and make them much more bigger, so we will have much more clear. Okay, our A category, the high value items, they are 34 in number, but the annual sale is around 295. B category, which is the medium value, is definitely 51 in number, but 86. And this is C. As far as number is concerned, number of items are 218, but the value is low. So this is kind of a confirm the Pareto principle and ABC analysis. And this is what we will be doing in this webinar. We'll be also doing some other analysis as far as XYZ classification. So what we have learned in ABC, this is the ABC analysis in inventory. It is technique to control inventory. It is based on Pareto principle 80-20. So what are A? They are few in number, but they are high in value. What are C? They are high in numbers, but they are few in value. And as far as B is concerned, they are kind of consistent. So as far as ABC analysis in inventory is concerned, there is kind of a number of strategies which we have to do. As far as forecasting is concerned, you will have to be much more accurate as far as A is concerned. For B, it may be approximate. C, it can be normal. As far as involvement is concerned, you need the top management to be involved as far as this inventory is concerned. For this, medium and middle level management and other level management may be involved. Control, yeah, you need a strict control over here. These two are kind of a moderate. As far as actions are concerned, you need to have daily actions over here. It can be periodic, and it may be on need basis. Our next analysis is the XYZ analysis in inventory. And what is XYZ analysis in inventory? It is based on the demand. What is the variability in demand of that quantity, that SKU? And those items are characterized as X, which have a steady turnover, steady demand. Those items with which are not very steady and which are seasonals are known as Y category. And those items which have fluctuated demands, they are categorized as Z. So this is the XYZ, and you can see from here it is kind of a consistent trend. The trend line is this trend line is moving up. This trend line is just moving down, so it is not consistent. And there is definitely, we have demand in just 2 months. So this is the crux of XYZ analysis. And before jumping into XYZ analysis, we'll have to there are many ways we can do XYZ analysis on daily basis, on weekly basis, on monthly basis. For this webinar, we'll be doing it for weekly basis. So we'll create a new table. We'll have a new table for the first for the week demand of SKU, each SKU. Then we'll have a week table which will be generated, and then we'll move forward with this one. So let's first create the week table. So let's generate a simple week table which is over here. So let's create a new table. We are calculating new. Now it is important. We have calculated new columns first, but now we are calculating new table. So we'll use the generate series function to calculate this new table. Week table is equal to generate series, and we would like to calculate it from today minus, and we will go back 365 days. So this is our start date, which is today minus 365, and our end date is today, and it is a week table, so we will give interval of 7, and we'll see that this week table is considered, and we have it interval of 7. So we are considering the base of weekly analysis of demand. So we have created a table of week table, and now we will be calculating a new table of week demand. So let's create a new table of week demand. Weekly demand, and we will use the generate. We'll use the generate function, and we'll just add up both the tables. We have created a new table of week table, and we have the SKU table. And we want to just merge those tables. So let's create that table. So now it has just created a table with weekly dates. So this date, this SKU and this product is definitely demanded. So they are sold. So it has created all the SKUs which are the SKUs as per our weeks are concerned. It has accumulated all the demand of SKU on weekly basis, and it has represented those SKUs separately. But we want the sale order quantity as well apart from this one. So at this date, what was the sale order quantity for this week? This is the 10th of December 2019. So in this week, what was the demand for this one? So now we will create this one new column. Because we have the table, we will create new column. Weeks demand is equal to, we'll use the function of calculate, and let's sum the order quantity. Yes, but we'll have to place some filters. So what are the filters? Let's place the formula filter, and we will place the filter in the table of sales, and let's see some of the functions or some of the conditions should have been filled. These are called filter expressions. So the first condition is this SKU ID of sales is equal to the SKU ID of not sales but SKU ID of week weekly demand, this one. So this is the first filter, and we will add n percent. This has to be filled, and the other one, which is the order date in sales, has to be less than or equal to the weekly demand values, this one. So this is the values are written, but these are weeks, remember. So we will change this one, but I have written this values. I am referring this column, so it has to be less than or equal to -6, because we are going back 6 days. And we will add another one over here, which is the order date. So it shouldn't be calculating each and everything. It should be restricted up till 6 days. So greater than and equal to the week demand values. Yeah, so now let's just format it a bit for easy understanding. Yeah, just to make it much more easy. So let's review this one first. So this part of the formula is restricting all the sales as per order date. So it is restricting not the total amounts, but the amounts which fall in the week, this week. So it is calculating the values which fall in within the 6 days, 6 or 7 days of this date, and this part is just matching the ID. So this SKU sale is to be represented over here, and as far as this part is concerned, it is simple. It is just calculating the total sales, and it is placing the filters over here. But I think there are some demands which are 0. Yes, so that is why we will be placing this 0 to just nullify this factor of 0. Yeah, so where there is no demand, there is 0. And we will be adding another one over here. We want to add the sales value as well. We'll be using this one in our calculation. So let's add the sales value. This is demand, but we will be placing the sales value. So the sales amount weekly, we will be placing the formula of lookup and just inventory unit price, SKU, which is the inventory control. We want to go over here and we want to look up this value with the SKU unit of week demand. So this is our lookup, and we want to multiply it with the week demand, this one. So our sales amount is also ready. So let's make this one weekdays, just to make it, yeah. So our value is also common. So we have this one and we have this one as well. Okay, so this was the demand and this is the amount, weekly amount. Now it's time to move forward and work on this is the preparation of our XYZ analysis. So let's go in the next table and do the calculation for XYZ analysis. We'll go in the inventory control table right now and do our analysis. So let's go in the inventory control table. This is inventory control table. Let's do our analysis again, and so what is the crux? First we'll place the average weekly demand against each SKU which is calculated over here. Then we will calculate the standard deviation of weekly demand. Then we will calculate the coefficient of variation of weekly demand. Then we will rank those CV, the coefficient of variation, and do the XYZ calculations. And there's a general rule that is once the coefficient of variance is less, it means it is a uniform demand, and if a coefficient of variance is more, then it is kind of an uncertain demand. So that is why we are doing all the calculations up till coefficient of variation before we are moving to XYZ analysis. So let's do this analysis first, and let's place first column of weekly demand, average weekly demand, average weekly demand. We will calculate and we will go with the function of average, and we'll go in the table of and in the column of week demand, and we will filter it with the table of, that is the week demand table, which has all the calculations, and we want to match it the SKU unit of week demand. This one, week demand, should be equal to SKU unit of inventory control, SKU unit of inventory control, this one. So let's first just so now it is just calculating the average weekly demand, and we have just placed one filter in order to represent all the demands of each SKU against the same SKU. So that is why we are placing this filter which we have placed over here. So this is the formula which we have done. So this filter is placed to match the SKUs, and we are just placing it in a calculate function, and we are just averaging the weekly demand which we have calculated from the column, the table which we have created right now. Now let's calculate the standard deviation, new column, and let's see it. ST of weekly demand is equal to standard deviation, and we will be placing the week's demand, this one, and we will place simple so we will be placing this in a calculate function. So otherwise it will be difficult to do, because we are placing the filters. We want to filter it, and weekly demand from we are just matching the SKU unit of inventory control with the SKU unit of week demand, this one, and let's close this one over here. So let's make this one formula is same. The main thing is this one. We are calculating the standard deviation of weak demand, but this filter is placed. This filter, we want to match the SKU unit of both the tables by calculating this one. So let's add the standard deviation, because we will be calculating the coefficient of variation as well. So let's add another column for coefficient of variation. So CV of let's add this one, CV of weekly demand is equal to, we are placing the formula if, and if the inventory control SD weekly demand, the standard deviation weekly demand is less than 0, then the simple formula is let's add this simple formula first. So the simple formula is because there will be some zero, so I'll explain it on the way. Weekly demand. So let's start with this simple one. Weekly demand divided by the inventory control average weekly demand, this one. So in standard deviation of weekly demand divided by the average weekly demand. Okay, but this is very important, because over here you can see that this is NaN, null. So we will be placing some high values over here, because we will be classifying our XYZ based on this CV value, this coefficient of variation value. As I've explained earlier, the logic is here: the lesser the value of coefficient of variation, it means it is this SKU has a uniform demand. The higher the value, it means that it has a uncertain demand. So if you can see in the XYZ, all those items which have uniform demand, steady turnover, or in other term less coefficient of variation, they are X category. And all those which are uncertain, which have uncertain demand, fluctuating strongly, or which have high value of CV, are Z category item. So we, as far as this 0 is concerned, these NaN is concerned, these are creating any problem. So that is why we will be placing the if formula, and if it is less than 0, then we'll place something. If it is less than 0 or anything, we'll place something bigger amount, make it 1000 or 100 or anything else. So if inventory control SD, this one is 0, inventory control SD is less than 0, then place 100. Simple. So it will be replaced by this one to 100. I think 100 is a bigger amount to go. Yeah, now this is 100 because the bigger amount is 2 and this is 100. Okay, and it is now time to rank CVs before moving ahead with XYZ calculation. So let's let's calculate this one, another column, which is CV rank. CV rank, and let's place a formula of rank EQ, which is used in inventory, and let's place the weekly demand, which is this one, and let's place this weekly demand, CV weekly demand, column name, values, and column name as well, and let's place 1. So you can see that this is the ranking. So the less demand, or those SKUs which have less CV value are ranked above, and it is going down accordingly. So we need this thing, because we need this thing for XYZ calculation. So let's do, and we have done all these calculations for XYZ classification. So let's do the XYZ. And let's place the if formula. If the CV rank, yes, is less than equal to 0.02, percent 0.02 of the max of CV rank, then it is X category, which is let's name it as UD, which is uniform demand. And let's place a double if statement. If the CV rank is less than equal to 0.05 of the max of CV rank, then it is categorized as Y. So let's make Y as VD, which is variable demand. Okay. Otherwise it is Z, which is, let's make it as UD allow, let's make it as no demand, ND, which is no demand. Let's make it as no demand. Okay, so this bracket is closed, and now this bracket is also closed. So the first 20% of the items are considered as X, the next 30% items are considered as Y, and the remaining 50% considers items are considered as Z and D. That's and we can jump into the visualization part of this webinar, because we have done quite a number of calculations. So let's jump into the visualization part of this webinar, and let's visualize what we have done so far. So let's do let's place some items in matrix. So let's place one matrix over here, and let's place the ABC, yeah, in the rows. These are high value, medium value, and low value. And let's place the XYZ, this one, in columns. So we have rows and columns over here. And let's place other items in between. So let's place we can analyze it with annual revenue. So this is the annual revenue, and we can remove the subtotals first. We don't need subtotals. Yeah, this is good to go. And let's make this one field, let's make this in, say, thousands. So let's make this in thousands. Okay, so this one is according to the values, and we can also Control C and Control V, we can make it in others, like this is in as far as revenue is concerned, this one for the revenue. Yes, so this one is, let's make it for the inventory value. So let's make this, let's place this over here. So it is as far as the value of inventory is concerned, and this is not making any sense right now, but it will make a lot of sense once we're there. So this one, let's calculate one other formula, which is the inventory turnover, and then we'll be doing the visualization of this one. So let's place this inventory turnover over here. Inventory turnover, which is simply the annual inventory over the and the total value. So let's see, so we are doing the total inventory turnover, and let's do it in sum of the inventory annual turnover, which is over here, annual revenue, minus sum of the total value, this one. And let's delete this one over with this one. Okay, so let's place some visualization, some conditional formatting over here, and once we have placed some conditional formatting, then it will be easy for us to visualize what we have and how we will be going. So this is the first visual, and okay, the amount is not clear, so let's make it, yeah, this one white, the format white. Yeah, this one is also white. Let's make this one white. Okay, and let's copy this one over here. copy this to this one and copy this to this one. Okay, and now let's make this one darker and make this one lighter. Yeah, so this is good to go. Now let's make this one as well. Make this one darker a bit, and this one lighter, this one. Okay, and let's make this one field filter, this over here. These are, let's make them in thousands. Yeah, so these are units. Let's do some other visualization as well before going ahead. This font, let's make this one darker a bit, so it will stand out. And let's make this font darker a bit. So if it is not making it darker, let's see. Row header, yeah, these are the row headers, so let's make this darker. As far as our values are concerned, we have made alternative fonts white. Let's make it okay, so it is, let's make this one and this one as well. Okay, good to go. And let's go over here and let's format this one again. So we can format it with some, yeah, this is good to go. So we'll see the values. Okay, now let's analyze. This is, as far as value is concerned, this is for value. So if we can just turn on the titles, this is for value, this is for the units, and this is the turnover. So ABC and XYZ, so the SKUs which are definitely high in demand and they are high in value as well, so they are more frequently used. So this is the SKU which has different. So these are the SKUs, the A, B, C SKU and XYZ SKUs. So this is low in number because they are going ahead. This is the high revenue value, but as far as the current stock is concerned, they are in less in number of stock. So these two items, these items are high in numbers as far as revenue is concerned. As far as quantity is concerned, they are low in quantity. But apart from this, your inventory or your investment is blocked in these kind of. So this is the inventory which is blocked in, which is BZ, which is blocked in BZ or CZ. So these are high in numbers. So low inventory is required over here because inventory turnover is very high, it is 95, and here it is inventory turnover with respect to AX quantity, the inventory turnover is 95, and ZC quantity, the inventory turnover is very less. So these items are having less inventory turnover and these items are having high inventory turnover. So if you can see A, they are having high inventory turnover. This is 9, this is 22, this is 3. So even 9 is bigger than this one. So the inventory turnover of A item, even it is in Z, has very high inventory turnover and this cumulative total is definitely more than combination of these as well. So this XYZ analysis is very important for the inventory working. And let's finish up this one, and let's do the visualization, and let's move forward. So let's click over here and let's add the title. Let's add title. Let's see, make it as bifurcation of inventory turnover ratio. Okay, so make it ratio, and let's make this one darker and outline, and I think, yeah, 16 is better. Great. And as far as so let's choose this background as well. We will be choosing some lighter background, so let's choose this one, and let's choose much more lighter. Yeah, this one. Great. And we are doing some visualization part. So and as far as background is concerned, let's choose the same background, or turn off this background. As far as our row is concerned, yeah, this one. Column, so let's choose the same background, and column, let's choose the same background, and values are concerned, let's choose the same background. Okay, so let's format this one with this one. Okay, we'll do the formatting again, no issue at all. So let's do this formatting, this conditional formatting again. Go over here, conditional formatting, and let's high value, and this one with low. So this is inventory, and let's make this one, let's rename it as, yeah, give it a title, bifurcation of current inventory value. So this is the second one, and let's make this one the third one. Yeah, bifurcation of revenue. Okay, and let's make them a little bit more. So let's choose, yeah, this is good. For column, choose this one, so make it different from the visualization. Yeah, this is good too. So let's make this one as well, and we are doing the visualization part right now. This one, and let's choose this one again with the high colors. Click over here and let's choose this one. Yeah, this one with the high color, and let's choose this one with the high color as well, same color. And let's click over here and choose the background to highlight a bit. This, great. And this also, let's choose it to be a little more darker. Yeah, So this is the first. So these are the three, and let's place the name as well. Name of the whole dashboard, which is dynamic inventory analysis. Let's make it darker and make it 28 and bold. Yeah. Turn off this background. So this is our, as far as our, and let's control C and V. So we'll be naming this one. So this one is XYZ analysis, A, B, C and XYZ ABC and XYZ analysis. So let's make it 16. Let's make this one darker, bold, middle, and make it a line over here. So this one is ABC analysis. So let's do the second one. Let's conclude this one as well, and this is the warehouse status. And let's place this one over here, and let's place this one beneath. Yeah, so let's do the visualization of this one. We don't need legends, but as far as title is concerned, we need title inventory value. So let's just make it inventory value and make this one darker and over here. And as far as the legends, not the legend, the labels are concerned, let's make this one also. Yeah, and let's, as far as background is concerned, let's make the same one, and let's do it same over here. So all things are done, just this is units, and we will go over here. So let's control C and control C, control V. So we have the third section over here, which is the top vendors. We will do the visualization of one, and the second will be handled. So let's do it over here, and this is vendor status or vendor analysis, which click over here and let's make this one darker. Turn off the title. Yeah, so we don't need the title of y-axis, and as well as this one, make this one darker, and we don't need this title as well. So great. And as far as the overall title is concerned, apart from value, we'll delete the other parts. Apart from value, yeah, by vendor name, yeah, it is vendor name. And let's make this font color darker, this one over here, and let's make this one, yeah, I think good to go. Other thing, I think we need the amounts, or let's place the labels, yeah, and let's place them in thousands, or let's place them in millions. And let's, as far as position is concerned, let's make it inside base. Yeah, so now it is good. Yes. And as far as background is concerned, we'll choose the background which is highlighted. So anything, yeah, just the titles. Unit, apart from units, so let's make this one highlight a bit. Okay, so now as far as our our dashboard is concerned, we are done with this one. Let's place some slicers above. So just Control C, Control V. Okay, so we want to place some slicer over here. Select for analysis. So let's make it a simple one. Select for analysis. So what is our first slicer? Our first slicer will be, let's place one slicer first, and let's place one slicer of SKU. So this is the SKU item. Let's make this one in drop down, and let's make it smaller. I think 14 is good. Yeah, this one. So this is SKU, and as far as slicer header is concerned, let's make it darker color. Item, yeah, let's make this one white background, much more darker. And this overall background we have choose this a little more darker background. So now you can choose any of, and the whole dashboard is changing out accordingly. So we'll place another slicer. We'll place two slicers. First this one, and let's place another one slicer. So let's place Control C and Control V. So we'll place three slicers. These are the three slicers which we'll be placing. Okay, so the second slicer will place the ABC. Over here, where is ABC? Yeah, here is ABC, and here we will delete this one. We will place XYZ. So we can classify it with X, with Y, with Z. So all the information is changing as far as warehouse status, vendor status, and the items. So each item is changing. So we can analyze whether what is the situation for A and X item. So this is the situation as far as A and X item is concerned. So we'll be placing some KPIs, important KPIs and forecasting, then we'll move forward. So before moving ahead, we want to calculate the stock reorder. So what is the stock reorder and how you will. So for this we really want few things. First, the peak weekly demand, the safety stock, and then we will calculate the reorder point, what is the reorder point, and then the stock status. So this is the whole concept of stock. Well, this reorder point is a safety stock plus average demand multiplied by average lead time. So let's we'll be calculating some of the columns. So let's calculate some of the columns in this inventory control table. So first we'll calculate peak weekly demand, then safety stock, then reorder point, then whether we want to reorder, yes or no, and then the stock status. So first peak weekly demand. So let's calculate peak weekly demand. Peak weekly demand is equal to, we will be calculating the max of weekly demand weekdays, yeah, this one, and we will filter it with, as we are going in another table, so we'll define the SKU units should match with this one. So this is the inventory control, this one inventory control table. So the SKU unit of inventory control should be equal to the SKU unit of weekly demand table. So this is the filter. So this part is just filtering. The inventory control SKU unit ID should match. The real part is this one. It will come up with all the maximum values of that weekly demand of each SKU. So this is the peak weekly demand of each SKU. And now it is time to calculate the safety stock, and as we are working with 7 days or a weekly person, so we will be doing all the, because we have the lead time in days, so we'll divide it into 7 in order to make it in weeks. So let's add another column, which is safety stock. Safety stock is equal to, so let's peak weekly demand multiplied by maximum lead time divided by 7. And we are subtracting it with the average weekly demand multiplied by average lead time divided by 7. So this is our safety stock for that SKU, and now we will find out what is the reorder point. So let's calculate another column, reorder point. Reorder point is equal to safety stock plus now the average weekly demand multiplied by average lead time in days divided by 7. Okay, so this is the reorder point, and whether we want to reorder, yes or no, we will have to place a condition of yes or no, and then we will add the status whether it is in stock, out of stock, or below the reorder point. So reorder whether it is yes or no. If the reorder point, yeah, this one, if the reorder point is less than current value, then it is yes, otherwise it is no. So if the current quantity is equal to the it is more than reorder point, so it is no. If it is less than the reorder point, it is yes. Simple. So we'll have the yes no over here. Yeah, so it is either it is yes or it is no. So we have all the yes no's over here, and then the next one is the stock status, which is whether it is in stock, out stock. So we need to find out this one, and let's place the calculated formula over here. If the current inventory control is equal to 0, then it is out of stock. It is 0, yeah, then it is out of stock. If the reorder, yeah, this one, this column, if the reorder yes no column is equal to yes, then it is below reorder point, otherwise it is in stock. So we'll have whether it is below order point or in stock or anything else. So few of the items, I think. So now it's time to place this into a, you can place it into various things. We can place it, it seems good over here in this one, in this gauge. It looks good in gauge, so let's place it in gauge, and let's place one the stock reorder SKU So let's do one calculation for this one. SKUs to reorder. We'll do the, and we want to count them because we have in a column we have whether it is in stock or reorder, but we want to count them. So let's place count and inventory SKU, inventory SKU ID, and now we want to filter it because the column which has yes or no is important, so we want to filter it with that column. Filter it with the inventory control table, and we will refer the reorder column, yes, and it should be yes. If this condition fulfills, then count the, if this condition fulfills, this one. So if this condition fulfills, if it is yes, then it will count all the rows of SKUs, and it will calculate whether it is to reorder or not. So we will place first the SKUs in this values, and then we will place the SKU ID from here, this one, and let's place it in the maximum value. Okay, so it is not calculating, so let's see what it is. Yeah, here we have placed the sign plus, it was is equal to. So now it is doing all the calculations. So a small error may cause some difference. So Control C, Control V, so we have this one over here, and we will have another one as well. Control C, Control V, so we will have another one over here as well. So let's place this gauge first. It is, we will rename it as stock reorder level. Stock reorder. As far as this one is concerned, we'll just remove the titles, and background, let's make this one similar. Yeah. As far as label is concerned, let's make this one darker. Yeah, that's good to go. And we will be placing some KPIs over here. So let's place some KPIs over here. So what will be the KPI? Let's, yeah, this one, KPI. So let's place some KPIs over here. For instance, we have calculated many items like inventory value, so let's make it smaller. Let's make this one, I think, 20, and let's make this one darker. labels, let's make this one 10 and let's make this one darker. Yeah, so it is quite good. And we have inventory value, we have the SKUs as well. So let's simply count SKUs. So, well, we can count SKUs simply over here, this one. SKU is equal to distinct count, and we have the SKU ID SKU. So just distinct count, this one. So let's just do the final touch up. Let's make this one, yeah, okay. I think it is much more darker. It is much more darker. Why it is much more darker? Yeah, this one. Good. Control C and Control V. So we have this visualization for SKU. To make it SKU, and let's make Control C and Control V for the next one, and we can count some other items. For instance, like overall inventory turnover. So this is an overall inventory turnover, and let's Control C and Control V. We can have another item which can be inventory units. So inventory units, and let's make this one 2 million. Yeah, good. So we have our KPIs over here, and we are just about to complete this webinar right now, and few of the things are just remaining. So we have just placed the sales amount and weekdays over here in the revenue forecast and quantity forecast, just to save cost, and we have gone to this analyze, and we have and we have placed this one forecast 10 points, and we have given the confidence level of 95. So it is giving us the range of what the upper band and the lower band of demand is. So with this one, we are done with our dashboard, and we have created this dashboard from scratch with sales table, inventory control, SKU, and warehouse. So, and this dashboard is dynamic in nature. You can see this SKU, ABC, XYZ analysis. So all the high value turnover items have low inventory and high turnover, but all the items which are less in demand, they're uncertain demands, and they are C category, they are valued high, and their turnover is also low. And you can analyze it with each SKU. Which SKU, say SKU 0.02 falls in AY category. So you can analyze it in various categories, and even you can see with what is the A category, warehouse position, top vendor, stock unit, and other things are concerned, and what is the revenue and demand forecast for that one. So this is the inventory dashboard or inventory analysis, which we will be offering in this series of webinar today. And before going forward, let's analyze what we are offering as far as our next working is concerned. So way forward is, as this is kind of a very simple syntax of, and we will be distributing this PDF to all the participants. So this is AX, this is BY, this is CZ. So what are the controls for ABC and XYZ analysis are concerned? So our next way forward is our premium training courses. So we are running quite a number of courses. So as far as for those who are very new to Power BI, we are running a course for Power BI for finance professional. Then we are running course for advanced financial reporting and analysis in Power BI, advanced budgeting and costing, advanced working capital analysis, management corporate in Power BI, and storytelling for data for finance professional. The premium courses which we are running, they are 2, 3, 4 days courses, and they start with 10-hour trainings up till 20, 25, 30-hour trainings. The focus is very simple. We start with data to decision making, the same which we have started right now over here, and we clean all the things, we analyze, we visualize, and then we can make decision based on data. The common structure of our each course is: first the foundation, second we have the pillars, data analytics, data visualization, which are the pillars, and then we can make the data driven decision based on those pillars. So this is the crux for all of our courses. This is some of the dashboards which we create from scratch in our course. Advanced ratio analysis, where we do profitability analysis, due point analysis. Then this is a scenario analysis. We run various scenarios based on profitability analysis to conduct where we are. And this is dynamic CVP analysis, cost volume profit analysis, income statement, and you can visualize your income statement in various manner. This is balance sheet, this is cash flow, this is customer aging analysis, this is sales and customer insight. This business performance scenario analysis, where you can perform various scenarios accordingly. This is the root cause analysis, the various AI visuals, artificial intelligence visuals built in Power BI. So we'll focus on that one as well, and many more. So if the trainings which we are providing are for you, well, there are 3 things. You should not have, no prior Power BI experience is required. Data visualization, data analytics experience, no issue. We'll start from scratch, and any level of professional, whether it is a business professional or a finance professional, can enroll in our training. The learning object, definitely first, we extract insight from raw data. It is applicable in professional life. You tend to understand the business intelligence tools, which is the highest one as far as ranked is concerned in the world. In Gartner analysis, you learn DAX, and you learn data visualization concept as well. And there are many things you will be learning for a specific course. It can be financial statement, financial ratios, due point analysis, scenario, CVP analysis, business case scenario analysis, working capital, cash flow, account receivable, account payable. So there are quite a number of analysis which we will be running. Our training are based on not only passive teaching techniques but participatory teaching techniques. So first we do learning on a demo dataset, and then we implement those demo dataset by offering the participants to choose one dashboard, and we assist that participant to create that dashboard in their own environment. So first 2 or 3 days on demo dataset, and then we tend to have one-to-one session with the participants and tend to work on their data and to analyze and visualize those data accordingly. So these are our premium training workshops. And if you want to enroll in these trainings, you can WhatsApp us or email us and find out when the next batch is starting. So that is from ourselves, and we are sure that you like our webinar series, and we will be bringing our webinar series in 2021 as well. So we have quite a number of amazing topics lined up for 2021. So thank you very much for attending this webinar, and you can connect to the trainer. You can connect to our special group in on LinkedIn. You can connect us with on Facebook as well. So thanks a lot, and bye from now.